Hey there, and happy Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Justin Gehrts, joined by meteorologist Aaron White on your 10 Weather Impact Show.
Good afternoon.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday. Turning out to be a pretty nice one.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you've been enjoying the sunshine today.
Yeah, I went outside early this morning and it was, bright sunshine, still a little cool, but not bad. And I know we're up into getting closer to 60 now, so kind of want to get outside, at least go for a walk and soak it in a little bit.
Right, we're 10 degrees warmer now than we were at any point yesterday. So,
onward, progress.
Right, onward and upward.
Yeah, keep it going.
You were talking about maybe, paddleboarding sometime this week?
I thought about going out tomorrow. I know it's going to be a bit warmer, 75. A little breezy, so usually not ideal, especially going out on the lake. And water temperatures are still a little bit chilly, but it's an idea. We'll see if it happens tomorrow, but it's been very tempting since we've had all this nice weather recently.
Yeah, I would imagine probably Sunday people are going to be out on the water just because it'll be 80-ish that day and sunny and whatnot. But the breeze is, again, you mentioned picking up, but especially I think early next week, it's going to be breezy as that warmer air gets more entrenched in the area.
Yeah, I've already seen a lot of people taking the boats out and everything because that's easy enough to do when it's nice out, but not so much of the kayaks and paddleboards quite yet. A few people, but
a little low to the water there, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, soon enough, I suppose. But
we'll get there.
Yeah, exactly. And we are going to be watching that warm up as we go throughout the coming days here. It's going to be staying sunny for the next couple of days as well. And honestly, we have plenty of dry time ahead of us. There is that rain coming up on Friday. It looks pretty minor at this point. That system is pretty moisture starved. Yes, there will be some showers with it, but probably not very much. All right, so here's how cold we got this morning. Widespread freeze once again, got down to 29 officially in Columbus, but some of the outlying areas at the edge of town may have been a touch cooler. You certainly see that as you head north. Got as low as 24 this morning in Mount Vernon, 25 in Marion, Cambridge, even our southern towns. 28 Athens this morning, Chillicothe at 27 as well. So certainly was a chilly one, but I don't see any more freezes coming up in the foreseeable future. There you see all that blue sky out there. It is a gorgeous early afternoon for us on this Wednesday, and as we mentioned, we're getting close to 60 degrees now. 57 right now in Columbus, 55 Delaware. Checking in at 59 Chillicothe, Piketon, Jackson, both at 61, Circleville 61 as well. So some of us have made it up to that 60-degree mark, and we are going to be continuing to rise to about 64 for a high for your Wednesday afternoon. That's actually a few degrees above average for April 8th. Rather, what's today? April 8th. There we go. 75 degrees for Thursday, 73 Friday. Those numbers are more than 10 degrees above average. Even after the cold front comes by and knocks us back to 67 on Saturday, that's still above average. And as we edge close to about 80 or so early next week, that still puts us 15 to 20 degrees above normal. And even beyond the next 7 days or so, the Climate Prediction Center has us in a pretty good chance of above average temperatures, even through the 8 to 14 day period that takes us all the way through April 22nd. So if we make it that far, our window of time to have cold air and another freeze starts to close. It's not done yet, but it starts to wind down some. Now, our average date of the last spring freeze, 32 degrees, is April 18th. It's been as early as March 30th, but we've had them as late as May 16th. So even once we get to May, that doesn't necessarily mean we're out of the woods just yet. Most of the time it happens before then, but it can happen that late in the season. Here you see on the satellite picture, not too many clouds to be found. There are some high, thin clouds trying to eke their way into western Ohio, but high pressure is in control still. It's now moved off to our east, though, and that flow around it, clockwise, that means we get those southerly to southwesterly winds eventually. That's ushering in those warmer temperatures over the coming days. And you can see that in full force off to the west. It's 60 in Indianapolis, 68 Springfield, Illinois, Chicago 62, even 70 in St. Louis. So that's the warmth that's coming our direction in the next few days. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast. No surprises here, as there's not much to show you this afternoon. Now, overnight, there could be some passing clouds that start to move back into our sky, but these are high, thin clouds, no big deal. Tomorrow, similar story. Some periods of clouds start to work in, but it is going to be a mostly sunny day. We start to see some signs of that cold front to our north, though, as there could be a sprinkle that tries to graze our far, far northern towns later on tomorrow evening. However, the main show is going to be during the day on Friday into early Friday night. Here we are, 3 p.m. We start to see those showers work their way into our northwestern towns, gradually slipping off to the south, heading into the evening hours. Now, there are going to be some areas of rain, but as I mentioned, this is a pretty weak system, not a lot of moisture. I think generally around 1/10 of an inch or less is going to be pretty common. That slides off to the south and east early Friday night, and then for Saturday, we're left with a mostly sunny sky once again, and that'll continue right into the day on Sunday. So a great looking weekend is ahead, and it'll be warm on Sunday too. Today, mostly sunny skies, 64 degrees, winds only around 5 to 10 miles an hour, sometimes a tad higher, but really not a big deal. Sunset this evening is at 8:03 p.m. All right, here's that 7-day forecast. 46 degrees tonight, not nearly as cold as what we've been the past couple of nights. 75 is your high on Thursday. There is that chance of those showers on Friday, mostly later in the day, the way things are looking. 73 degrees there. Saturday, little drop in temperatures, but still 67. As I showed you, that's still above average. Bouncing up to 81 coming up on Sunday, still mostly sunny. We watch those shower chances start to pick up once again early next week, probably peaking the middle of next week as another weather system heads our direction. We'll see highs probably staying in the upper 70s early next week. And overnight lows, generally, you know, we're talking 50 or warmer a lot of the time there over the next 7 days.
Yeah, which is, pretty nice. I mean, even the lows in the 40s, really not that bad,
No.
especially after what we just had. So
yeah,
can't
plants,
complain.
Yeah, those plants, if you had to bring them in or cover them up the past couple of nights, they are good to go for a while around here. But yeah, getting to the that last week of April before we, have any chance of anything as far as cold. And there's nothing in the offing that says that's going to happen. But
Sure.
I mean, we can feel pretty good about the next couple of weeks not
Yeah.
having anything. So as we mentioned, that window of time for another freeze is shrinking.
Sure.
Not done yet,
Yep.
but it's shrinking, and that's certainly,
it's still
certainly a
there.
good thing to see.
As long as, we can handle a little freeze, but as long as we can avoid the snow,
Oh my goodness.
hopefully we're done with that. I know it can still happen in April, and, coming down from Minnesota and you're from Iowa, we've had snow in May, so hopefully that doesn't happen around here this year. But
You were just looking at a traffic camera up, and was it North Dakota or Minnesota?
in Minnesota, yeah, they got some snow right now.
That had some snow, yeah, so that was no thanks.
Yeah, and as we talk about snow, rain, hail, anything like that, we always love to see the photos that you were able to send in to us when it's safe to do so. And talk about that, and today, it's actually Safe Place Selfie Day, a day to show off your family's plan for staying safe in severe weather. National Weather Service encourages you to take a selfie, show off your safe place from tornadoes, flooding, heat, and even more. And we actually did that earlier this morning.
Yes, indeed. I actually discovered that we actually have a severe weather shelter here at the station. So, of course, I suppose if there's anything going on, we're probably going to be in the studio unless we have to actually go there if there's
Sure.
something bearing down on us. But it's just around the corner, so we can get there pretty quickly if we need to.
Yeah, and that's a good spot, a nice safe place. And as we talk about, the severe weather, it's been fairly active already here recently. I want to talk about the overall tornado count that we have here, not just in Ohio, but across the entire nation. This is a look at the 2026 tornado count, and you can see pretty active already. Talking about Ohio, we've already had 10 tornadoes. We've mentioned that here over the last several days, with the most recent tornado that was confirmed over the weekend. That was up in Defiance County. That was an EF1 tornado. The Weather Service conducted a survey back on Sunday. Now up to 10 tornadoes for the state of Ohio. But we look back to the west and especially the south, a bit more active with Illinois, up to 54 tornadoes. And
I was noticing that, not to interrupt you, but I noticed, I'm like, wow, Illinois is leading the country right now in tornadoes so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they had that really active time back in March where we had so many tornadoes, those big supercells that dumped, significant hail, and I think maybe breaking a state record in Illinois for the largest hailstone, but also the tornado that went through the Kankakee area and other tornadoes now that have been confirmed by the National Weather Service. So pretty remarkable that we've already had almost 300 tornadoes and we're only a week into April.
Yeah, that's quite a start to the season. Even seeing Arizona and New York State coming in with one tornado is interesting. I mean, New York State, not exactly a hotbed of severe weather, so the fact that they've had one already this early in the season is interesting.
Yeah, especially considering, you look at some other states and there's only been one confirmed so far in Florida. Nebraska hasn't even had a tornado confirmed yet. Normally they start to see some more, and maybe that'll be the trend as we continue on through, I would say, at least the next week, because we're starting to see some more signs that there may be some severe weather out across parts of the central and southern plains as we head towards the weekend into early next week, and our chances for storms coming out as we head towards Tuesday. So kind of have to watch how those systems play out, especially further to our west.
Yeah, I know that Storm Prediction Center is starting to highlight some of those areas well out toward the west and the plains for potential storms and severe weather coming up. But of course, this is getting to be mid-April very soon, so. it's the time of year we start to see things ramp up, especially in that section of the country.
Yeah, so we'll be watching it here as we go through the next couple of weeks. And of course, something else that we are also watching is Artemis. Actually, 150 years after the first phone call was placed here on Earth, now we got the first phone call between two human spacecraft.
Interesting. Well, the crew of the Artemis II can be heard calling the crew aboard the International Space Station.
Integrity, this is the International Space Station. How do you hear?
Hey, International Space Station and Jessica, we have you loud and clear.
That is really something. That is
How cool is that?
Right? Yeah, that's the Orion capsule in deep space talking to the International Space Station in low Earth orbit. With this manned moon mission, we're marking so many iconic milestones. You can talk about those here.
Yeah, really cool that they were able to, make a phone call, and also the fact that we've been able to witness this whole mission really in real time as they've had that camera set up for us to be able to see that as, of course, Artemis rounded the moon just in the last couple of days. And Artemis is scheduled for a splashdown later on Friday between 7 and 10 p.m. And you can actually catch meteorologist Meredith Garfalo. She'll be covering that for you here on 10 TV Plus. And of course, it will be, all eyes glued to the TV as we head towards Friday, watching Artemis come back home and hearing their overall, just enjoyment about being up there in space.
Yeah, no, I can't even imagine. I'm sure they're going to be a little excited to come back, but a little bummed just because what a great, historic, cool mission to be a part of. Now, aboard the Orion spacecraft named Integrity, the Artemis II crew kicked off flight day 8 with Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie, a great song, of course. And they'll prepare for 2 test objectives on their way home. Yeah, they're still working. At wake up, they were 200,278 miles from the Earth and 83,000 miles from the moon. Crew also received a message from the CSA, or the Canadian Space Agency. The crew will have a mission status briefing this afternoon and then speak with media from around 9:45 p.m. this evening Eastern Time to discuss their historic flyby around the moon. So they're busy folks up there still.
Yeah, and I believe if we have it, we can actually listen to them waking up this morning.
Yeah, like that we're both popping our heads as soon as the song comes on. That's, you can't help it,
yeah,
right?
Honestly, not a bad wake-up call for them this morning up there on the up there in space, and really cool stuff that's been going on, of course. And something also that we were watching was a potential comet.
Yeah, so there's of course all the talk this week about the Artemis II mission, the moon mission, which is pretty cool in and of itself. But there was another celestial event that gave stargazers a reason to be pretty excited.
Yeah, and I was kind of hoping this was going to pan out, but unfortunately that comet actually got too close to the sun. You may likely have heard recently about a comet that was supposed to be visible in the night sky, even visible to the naked eye, but unfortunately that comet is no longer a thing. It actually was reaching towards the sun. It was flying towards the sun here back over the weekend, and unfortunately, it got too close and it actually disintegrated. This comet was known as a sun grazer comet, that they actually get really close to the sun, but sometimes if they survive, they become really bright comets that we get to enjoy in the night sky. But unfortunately, that was not the case with this comet. Again, you can see here, this is a look at the coronagraph image. The Space Weather Prediction Center uses this from NASA to actually monitor solar activity for potential northern lights coming in. But we actually got to see that comet diving towards the sun, getting brighter, but then fading away. So if you were hoping for a comet coming up here in April, unfortunately this one's not going to be the case, but there is another comet that we're watching towards the end of the month, coming up around the 25th of April, that could actually be visible in the night sky. Again, this one is also making its way towards the sun, likely not going to get as close, but it is something we'll be watching here as we go through the next several weeks. Reporting for 10 TV, I'm meteorologist Aaron White.
Yeah, Thanks for filing that for us
Yeah,
yesterday.
really excited about that. Hopefully that one pans out, but we'll of course see how it goes. And finally today, let's also check out some new video. This is actually some pictures, of course, from Artemis. They've been spending a lot of time of conducting some scientific research, but also they have cameras. They've been capturing different views of the moon. We saw the last, as they were doing that flyby, the total eclipse that they got to view because they were so
cool.
close to the moon. And this is just a bunch of different images that they were able to take. So really just remarkable to see, just the detail that you see in some of these images.
Yeah, it's funny to think back to the pictures we got from the original moon missions all those years ago and compared to the camera quality now. It's just incredible how crisp that is. I mean, it's just... It doesn't cease to amaze me how clear those images are. And I mean, I just have to laugh because I'm looking at these thinking, oh my goodness, like how wild is it? They're tens of thousands of miles from the moon.
Yep.
And that's how clear those pictures are. It's just absolutely incredible to me.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about like some of the pictures that we're able to take here on Earth with cameras and also the stronger lenses that we have, but we also have the atmosphere, you get that light pollution and all that. They're actually out there where there's nothing to really obstruct, so you can actually get the clearer detail and some really cool pictures.
Yeah, that is just the most remarkable thing. You also mentioned their eclipse. Our eclipse was 2 years ago today.
That's right. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah, April 8th of 2024. I actually drove down to southern Missouri to witness it, and it was just sort of remarkable to, for 4 minutes that you are in totality just witnessing that.
Yeah, so we were in Ohio at that time already, and we headed west a little bit to get in totality because here most of the metro was in like the 99%.
Yeah.
And I know that some folks that we know are like, oh, that's pretty close. It's like, no. There's a world of difference between 99 and 100. Like most of the time that's true, but not with an eclipse. So we headed about an hour west south of Springfield, and I still get goosebumps thinking about it. It was just an incredible experience. So not a day I will soon forget, but hard to believe it's been 2 years already since we had that.
And it's always interesting when you talk about it because, you don't think that the difference between 99% and 100%, it's like, oh, it's only 1%. But because how strong the light from the sun is, like it is still bright even with 1% of sunlight coming through. So when you get into totality and it goes dark and you can see the 360 sunset around you, just remarkable. So eventually there's going to be another one here in the United States. I believe it's in the 2040s, so we got a long ways to go until that. But also we don't have a far ways to go for our forecast because coming up later on this evening, Chief Meteorologist Chris Tomer is going to be in. He's already just got in here. He's going to be diving into the forecast as we go through this evening and looking ahead to these warmer temperatures.
Yeah, and fine-tune that Friday shower forecast to see when exactly you may have to adjust any plans just in case you have anything going on in the evening, just to make sure you're ahead of that or have to have the umbrella or anything like that.
Yeah, so until then, you can catch more news and weather online as always at 10tv.com.